The hyoid bone, lingual bone, and tongue bone is a horseshoe-shaped bone situated in the anterior midline of the neck between the chin and the thyroid cartilage. At rest, it lies between the base of the mandible and the third cervical vertebra. Unlike other bones, the hyoid is only distantly articulated to other bones by muscles or ligaments. It is the only bone in the human body that is not connected to any other bones. The hyoid is anchored by muscles from the anterior, posterior, and inferior directions and aids in tongue movement and swallowing. The hyoid bone provides attachment to the muscles of the floor of the mouth and the tongue above, the larynx below, and the epiglottis and pharynx behind. Its name is derived from Greek hyoid, is shaped like the letter upsilon. It looks like a little jaw floating under your jaw, a tiny jaw under your jaw. That's the hyoid bone, the hyoid bone. It's all alone, the hyoid bone, the hyoid bone. The hyoid bone is classed as an irregular bone and consists of a central part called the body and two pairs of horns, the greater and lesser horns. The apex of each horn gives attachment to the styloid ligament. The chondroclosis rises from the medial side of the base. The second pharyngeal arch, also called the hyoid arch, gives rise to the lesser cornu of the hyoid and the upper part of the body of the hyoid. Blood is supplied to the hyoid bone via the lingual artery, which runs down from the tongue to the greater horns of the bone. The suprayoid branch of the lingual artery runs along the upper border of the hyoid bone and supplies blood to the attached muscles. The hyoid bone is present in many mammals. It allows a wider range of tongue, pharyngeal, and laryngeal movements by bracing these structures alongside each other in order to produce variation. The discovery of a modern-looking hyoid bone of a Neanderthal man in the Kivara cave in Israel led its discoverers to argue that the Neanderthals had a descended larynx and thus human-like speech capabilities. A large number of muscles attached to the hyoid: superior metapharyngeal constrictor muscle, hyoglossus muscle, genioglossus, intrinsic muscles of the tongue, suprayoid muscles, the gastric muscle, stylohyoid muscle, genioyoid muscle, mylohyoid muscle, inferior thyroid muscle, omohyoid muscle, sternoyoid muscle, sternothyroid muscle. Due to its position, the hyoid bone is not easily susceptible to fracture. In a suspected case of murder or physical abuse of an adult, a fractured hyoid strongly indicates throttling or strangulation. The hyoid bone is not easily susceptible to fracture. In a suspected case of murder or physical abuse of an adult, a fractured hyoid strongly indicates throttling